G'day, I'm Paul. If you've seen our channel before, you'll know that Australians love dual cab utes, backies, pickup trucks, whatever you want to call them. Ford has just announced that they will be remanufacturing the F-150 pickup truck to right-hand drive for the Australian market. This news is very fresh, so I'm going to take you through everything that we know so far before the F-150 officially goes on sale in Australia in mid-2023. Now, before we get started, I've got to apologise for the echo. We're in our chalet here out on a shoot and we've decided to quickly put this video together. Now, what is the story with this? So F-150, they sell about 1 million of these in the States. It's the most popular vehicle in the US and the most popular pickup truck as well. To put that million into perspective, Australia's new car market is about 1 million units in total, and Ford sells that in just one vehicle, which is pretty incredible. Now, why wouldn't they just make a right-hand drive version of the F-150 out of the States? Well, their production capacity runs pretty much 100%, so they are completely chock-a-block. They also have the Lightning electric vehicle now as well, and they don't have any capacity to produce right-hand drive because there are really just limited markets around the world for right-hand drive. So instead, what Ford's doing is they've decided to convert the F-150 to right-hand drive here in Australia. So they'll import left-hand drive vehicles and convert them to right-hand drive. Now, this isn't something new. We've seen other brands doing this. Chevy with the Silverado, they all do these conversions here in Australia, and then you have other firms outside of the manufacturers that also do the conversions, and you've seen our TRX review with AusMV. They do the same thing here in Australia. This one will be an official Ford conversion, which means it will have a Ford warranty, 5-year unlimited kilometre. You'll be able to service it at Ford dealers and they will back all of the accessories that they sell with the F-150 as well. How are they tracking with it? Well, they've engaged the services of a Thai firm called RMA Automotive. These guys specialise in remanufacturing vehicles. Now, when I say remanufacturing, this isn't just a case of moving the steering wheel and using like a chain-driven system to make it work. This will be a bespoke product that will work completely in right-hand drive that will be approved by Ford, and that's the important part. These guys will have CAD drawings and all of the information they need to make sure this conversion is done properly and that it feels, looks and drives just like a right-hand drive version of the F-150 out of the factory would. Ford is at the stage now where they have a prototype version of a right-hand drive vehicle roaming the streets. They are in a position where they think they will have all of this ready by mid-2023. So there's still a little bit of time to go, but it is a promising sign in terms of what customers can expect. Now, it all comes down to two variants for the Australian market. They will import the XLT and the Lariat. So these sit about mid-spec in terms of the F-150 range. They're both very good sellers in the States in terms of volume, which is why they've chosen them. And they'll both be fitted with the EcoBoost petrol V6 engine. It's just under 300 kilowatts of power, close to 700 Newton meters of torque. And that's all mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. That is the most popular seller in the States. And it really sort of blends power, torque, and efficiency. So it really sort of ticks all of those boxes. You've got to remember that the F-150, even though it looks like quite a big truck, it weighs around the same as something like a Ford Ranger Raptor, and that's due to its aluminium construction. So a punchy V6 EcoBoost petrol engine is going to go really well in this, especially for the Australian market. These things can tow over 4,000 kilograms, and depending on how they certify it for the Australian market, it means that you can actually use this as a workhorse and a daily work vehicle for towing and all that kind of thing. We don't know what they're going to fit with the XLT and the Lariat in terms of standard equipment, but we do know that you can get a number of different options in the US market, and they'll probably tick a few of those boxes when it does finally arrive in Australia. Earlier this year, we had the chance to drive an F-150 in the States, and it was a platinum hybrid version, and it had two features that I really loved. One was a fold-out workbench. It would fold the gear stick down out of the way, and then the center console will fold into a workbench. That means you can set up a laptop and do stuff on your work break. And then in addition to that, you had lay flat seats. So you could have a kip in your F-150 and then not have to worry about finding a hotel for the night. Kind of similar to the Lexus LX that we had a look at recently. So these are some of the great features that we expect to see. For work-related features, we're talking about things like the ability to configure the tray as a scale. And what it does is, using the infotainment screen inside the car, it will tell you how loaded you are in terms of payload. It can even use the tail lights to give you an indication of when you are reaching maximum payload. Then in addition to that, you have a number of different options for powering things out of the tray. You can power up to 7 kilowatts worth of power using the engine as a generator. So this is a proper work truck, and if you are looking for something that is great for the weekend and comfortable as a cruiser, but can also do your workday duties, this really will fit all of those boxes. In terms of technology inside the car, you can get it with 2 versions of the Sync 4 infotainment system, including the bigger 12-inch screen that we're going to see fitted to the new Ranger. So this is a tech powerhouse. It is a very modern vehicle, and it is nothing like the utes that we currently have on sale in Australia. How much is it going to cost? I know what you're all asking. Look, I'm not going to lie, this is going to be expensive. Even though the XLT starts in the States at around that $35,000 mark, by the time you make it a dual cab, you kit it up with a few bells and whistles, and you do the conversion job, which they're going to have to do here in Australia, tooling up for it, paying off the R&D cost. It's probably going to cost close to 100 grand, if not over. So it is worth keeping in mind, this isn't going to be like a $60,000 ute. This will be properly expensive, but when you drive one of these, you'll understand why it is worth paying significantly more than what we're paying for dual cab utes here in Australia right now. So it is an exciting time for the dual cab market in Australia. Some of you may think these are way too big for Australian roads, and look, that might be true for some of those inner city Sydney car parks that I struggle to get a Ford Fiesta into. But look, at the end of the day, people are going to buy these because they're using them for work and potentially for country driving and towing, that kind of thing. So I'm excited about this. We don't really know any more details outside of what we have today. We will keep you posted on the channel as more information comes to hand when we do finally get our hands on the first right-hand drive test vehicle. Now, let me know what you think about this announcement. Are you as excited as I am for the F-150 coming to Australia? This will be the first time that Ford has done a factory-backed right-hand drive conversion program for the Australian market, so it will be interesting to see how it goes. Ford hasn't ruled out doing the Lightning, the electric version of the F-150, or other vehicles in the Ford stable, such as Bronco, for the Australian market. So if this does well when it is finally released in mid-2023, I think we can expect to see more of these coming to the Australian market, which makes me a very happy camper. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you share it with your mates. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. But until next time, take it easy.